We are live. Happy Friday, everybody. Couple minutes late there, but nobody's been so everyone's good. We're going to give everyone a little bit of time to refresh the page so we can get rolling here. Friday, episode 22, and we are here with a very special guest, the founder of Guerrilla Roots Marketing, Mr. Jordan Clendenin.
Thank you very much, Brian. It's a pleasure to be here. I am happy to jump on this call. This definitely means a lot to me and our agency as well, too, being on this call and everything you've done so far for the event industry, bringing Trusted Herd to agencies and brand ambassadors alike and making it transparent for everybody. So we love what you're doing over there, and we're happy to be on the call and can answer some questions for people.
Yeah. Well, thanks again for being here. As a reminder, if you have not seen the first 21 episodes, that's okay. I'm not offended. But now you can go back and you can watch them because we have a weekend coming up here. But what we decided to do with this little bit of pause in the event industry is I was like, you know, it'd be really cool to hear the stories and the entrepreneurs that are behind all these companies that you apply to and you race and you're like, oh my God, that job's $24 an hour. Apply. But you don't know anything about them. And there's so many good stories out there. And so that's why I'm so happy to have Jordan here today. Jordan, hello, Ton, and anybody else watching. Jordan, we also have a little bit of a giveaway courtesy of you and Guerrilla Roots Marketing. Do you want to tell everybody what's going on?
Yes, we do. So wanted to make an impact. This has been something we've been thinking about for a while now. So we're going to do wanted to contribute to this whole giveaway process. We want to do a $100 giveaway and a $50 giveaway. And that's something that we'll announce the winner on Monday. We want to do it so that there'll be a first place, obviously, for the $100, 50 place for the second. Basically, I'll be answering one of Brian's questions halfway through this interview. I will let you guys know the question that I want the response to, the answer to. Drop that in the comment section below, and I will choose a winner based off of the correct response on Monday sometime. So I understand there'll be multiple people putting the same responses. Out of the people who get the answer correct, I will then narrow my search on that, and we'll drop a winner on Monday. Everybody else, though, for the $50 prize, again, to get that as well, too, please like, share, and comment. That is the mandatory requirements to be entered in to win that $50 giveaway. Yeah. So again, first place, answering the question correctly by Monday, and then second place, like, share, comment, and you're automatically entered to win.
Amazing. Thank you, Jordan. I will clap on behalf of everybody watching right now and in the future. I'll have this scroller going on throughout the interview, and we'll bring it up a little bit of the way through here. But if you are just joining, again, we're here with Jordan Clendenin, founder of Guerrilla Roots Marketing. And we're about to have a little bit of fun on a Friday, so let's do it. Jordan, if you've been watching any of the episodes, we got a rule here. The first question has nothing to do with the event world. Tell us, if we can't find you doing Guerrilla Roots, and I know, you know, being an entrepreneur, that's a lot of your time. What else are you doing? What do you do for hobbies? All that good stuff.
So quarantine lifestyle aside, obviously, if I wasn't quarantined and stuff like that, I like to get to the gym, stay active outdoors and stuff. But I'm pretty popular. I get invited to a lot of tea parties. Yeah. I play dress up quite a bit, give out horsey rides. So if you're kind of catching on to that, basically what I'm saying is I'm a full-time dad outside of doing the entrepreneur stuff and this running the company here at Guerrilla Roots Marketing. So I have three adorable little girls who are my entire life, along with my wife, obviously. So that occupies, I would say, 99.9% of my time outside of Guerrilla Roots Marketing and my clients. So yeah, horsey rides, tea parties, and dress up, basically.
Yeah. I'm talking to my future right now.
Yeah.
1.5-year-old.
You 1 or 2?
One. So I can't imagine that plus 2 more.
Yeah.
So good stuff. All right. Well, you know, I mean, I like talking tea party and all the other stuff, but let's talk a little bit about events, shall we?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. If I wasn't to meet you at a tea party of our girls getting together, Jordan, and I didn't know anything about you, and we started sharing that plastic teacup, and I go, Jordan, what do? How would you answer that? Tell me a little bit about Guerrilla Roots Marketing.
Yeah, so we are a small, family-owned, nationwide event staffing and marketing agency. So we staff everything. We kind of don't pigeonhole ourselves into one kind of position. We staff everything from small in-store demos to large concerts, festivals, and events. We do have a small production side of our company as well too, but that is mainly focused on the local community, local small business owners who want to get involved in local events in the area and community. We'll kind of help them set up their production for that, tents and stuff like that, interactives, all kind of cool stuff like that to kind of make an impact out here in the local community. But obviously for the staffing aspect of itself, we staff nationwide for as many brands as we possibly can.
Nice. Really good update. And, you know, we didn't even ask at the beginning, where is Guerrilla Roots Marketing based?
We are located in the amazing city of Virginia Beach, Virginia.
Virginia Beach. Awesome.
Yes.
I had a good friend whose older brother was in the military, and he was out of Virginia Beach and came back with all these soccer jerseys for us because he was in a beach league, like 3-on-3. So had a nice Virginia Beach shirt growing up.
It's a great, I tell people it's like the forgotten city sometimes out here. It's the forgotten coastal city because a lot of cool stuff happens out here with Virginia Beach and Norfolk and the Vibe District and the community out here, but it tends to get overlooked a little bit amongst the more coastal cities.
Is the, if I'm remembering off the top of my head correctly, and I might be mixing it up with Baltimore, but Neptune Festival, is that in Virginia Beach?
So we have the Neptune Festival, but we also have the Something in the Water Festival that Pharrell just launched last year, which unfortunately got canceled this year along with all the other major events going across the country. But that's the biggest one so far is going to be the Something in the Water Festival. That was the first one took place last year.
Nice. And are you originally from Virginia Beach yourself?
No, I'm from born in New York City. I was raised, though, in the Poconos of Pennsylvania. So ventured out down here after doing some extensive traveling in my early and mid 20s and kind of settled on home in Virginia Beach as of probably like 3 or 4 years ago.
Okay, very nice. Yeah, I spent many event days at the Pocono Raceway.
Yes.
All right. Well, let's get into a little bit more depth of your background and your entrepreneurial journey. I mean, what were you doing before you even got into the event world?
Oh, okay. So before the event world, we'll throw it way back when. I kind of used to consider myself like a jack of all trades. Honestly, I didn't allow myself to kind of stay put in too many different positions. So what I would do was I was a server. I was into landscaping. I worked in a factory. I was a personal trainer. I was actually into telemarketing at one point. So when I was younger, I literally did every job you can possibly imagine just to kind of get out there and get experience in them and see what I liked. Yeah. But I got introduced into the event industry at a young age as well, too. And immediately when I was introduced into the industry, I fell in love with it, as you can imagine. Yeah. I did take like a small little break. And when we first started our family, I took a small break. I took a position with Yelp. Okay. Did that for a little bit, but realized very quickly that I am not honestly cut out for the traditional 9-to-5, as I feel like a lot of the people in this industry are. We're in this industry for a reason. It's because we are kind of more creative thinkers and, not like to be tied down to a desk from sun up to sundown. So took a break from that. And then after I left Yelp, I took a position with a marketing agency that I was working with for several years before founding Guerrilla Roots Marketing.
Nice. All right. Well, let's go back to that very first experience. You're doing a ton of jobs, ton of different industries. Do you remember your very first event that you did?
Yes. So that was, I'll never forget it. I was living in California at the time, SoCal. Okay. It was in Huntington Beach, California, right there on the beach. Sunny weather, obviously can't ask for anything better. And I was representing Dole Juice. And I remember it was amazing to me that I was getting paid what I was getting paid to stand out at the beach in Huntington Beach and pass out juice to people. It was, I'll never forget it. And that's what really, like I said, I fell in love with it initially. And that's honestly what did it for me. I'm like, I can't believe I'm getting paid to stand out here.
Did you have a friend that roped you into that, or did you just find it on your own?
It was an acquaintance at the time. She kind of brought it to my attention. And she was in the industry for a brief moment, and she said, "Hey, look, this is something you should kind of look into. It's a lot of fun. It's really simple. Yeah. You have a great personality. I think you'd be great. You like talking to people," she said. So I said, "You know what? Yeah, sure. What's it pay?" And she told me the rate, and I was like, Really? I said, okay, let's give this a shot. And yeah, we went down there and worked the event in Huntington. And it was, I said, I need to find a way to do this forever. So
yeah. I mean, it's a great first event. You're right on the beach. You just hand a product to somebody. And I mean, I have to imagine it's probably a little warm, so they gladly take the juice or a liquid. That's great. And so for you, really, it was kind of love at first sight. And from there, you were like, how many more of these can I do? Is that kind of how
That's exactly what it was. From there on, it was, I said, sign me up for as many as you can. I said, how does it work? I kind of picked her brain a little bit about the ins and outs of it. Hey, you have to sign up with multiple different agencies, get your name out there a little bit. But once I started to get booked on one or two more, it kind of spiraled down there from there, and it just became an addiction of mine. I said I wanted to work as many events as possible, and it was perfect for me as well too, because I don't like just the same thing over and over again. I need variety. So for me, it got me out of the office or out of just sitting at a desk or something like that. I got to meet people, interact, engage, use my personality to kind of sell a product or, promote a product and brand, which is something that I definitely enjoy doing. That's
amazing. I mean, it's so similar for me. I mean, I left the hotel industry and got one job doing event marketing, and I was like, this is incredible. And this is the outlet, right? Especially if you're a creative person. And you do get to the agency side or even the brand side where you're helping come up with campaigns. And I mean, every one of these calls, I think at the end of it, we end up staying on the line and we're talking a little bit. And I'm like, hey, for this client that you mentioned that you're kind of pitching, you should sell them this idea. Like, I mean, that's like the coolest thing about it's an idea industry. And it's like the more fun and engaging those ideas are, workers love those types of events.
Yes, definitely.
So cool. So, all right, you're doing a ton of events, and then it sounds like you kind of do Yelp, and then you're working at an agency, a marketing agency in New York City, right?
No. Actually, that position that I took that agency with was in South Carolina.
In South Carolina.
So yeah, I moved out to South Carolina, took that job with that agency in South Carolina, and was doing that for, again, several years prior.
Okay. And at what point, Jordan, do you go, hey, I think I want to start a company?
So again, that's something that goes back to my early years as well too. I always knew it's just something that was always inside of me that no matter what I was doing, I wanted to make my own of it. Okay. So that's been instilled in me since my early 20s. I'm not the type of person that, not that I don't like taking direction from people. Like, obviously I, respect my, authority, with whatever job I held, I always respected it, but it was something that I always wanted to be independent. I always wanted to be the boss of my own decisions, make my own pay and stuff like that, set the rules, set the, kind of the standard that I wanted to implement. And I definitely knew early on that no matter what I did, no matter what industry I was in, that I wanted to make something of it by myself. I used to kind of look at every single position. I would tell people, especially when I was younger, every position I got into, I looked at it like an internship. I went in with that mindset of like, hey, go in, soak up as much information as you possibly can, learn the ins and outs of this industry, and figure out a way that if I wanted to translate it to my own company, how I could do that. Would it be cost effective? What I would need to start it up, and then just go from there. So I kind of always just had that entrepreneurial mindset to know that no matter what I ended up doing, I wanted to do it by myself.
I am such a big fan of that mindset where you do so many things, you experience so many different companies, and you cherry pick from each one what you really like and what you really, really didn't like and how you would improve that, right?
Exactly.
And so, I mean, for you, you're working at that agency and you do have that background where you're getting all this experience. Was it sort of a tipping point in that decision, or like you go, I think I got enough foundation here, or was there something else that drove you?
Yeah, so I will be really honest with you. I'll be transparent with you right now. It was a lot of people's company kind of comes from like, hey, a positive thing that happened, or a light goes off, and they're like, hey, I want to do it. Yeah. I was kind of sitting on the idea for a while that like, hey, I could do this staffing stuff, or hey, it seems pretty like something up my alley that I would like to do, or the marketing agency side of things. And within that agency, I actually got passed over on a position that I thought should have gone to me. And it was kind of like just the kick in the butt I needed to say, you know what, again, Jordan, like nobody's going to look out for you but you.
Yeah.
I thought there was loyalty within the industry and stuff like that, but I realized very fastly from that decision that like, hey, like can't hold it against them.
Yeah.
If you want to do something, do it yourself. So ever since that point on, that kind of gave me the spark I needed to say, hey, you know what? It's a blessing in disguise, but it gave me the courage I needed to kind of say, hey, listen, the time is now. I told my wife, you know, I want to go full head into this thing. And she jumped on board with me, obviously, and we run this together, and it's been a success ever since. So
that's awesome. That's awesome. You can, I mean, like you said, it's those moments, and it's not always like the best moment that ends up leading to the new path. I had something similar happen in my background, so very resonates very well. In starting Guerrilla Roots Marketing, was there a purpose or a mission besides just I want to start this and you know, do it myself, or was there something more to it?
Yeah, so it's kind of twofold. So from the client aspect of it, I always felt like marketing seemed to be catered towards the Fortune 500 companies, the companies with the infinite budgets, who had just marketing dollars to just throw out there, and they were going to get all the attention. What the beauty of grassroots marketing and guerrilla marketing, obviously, is you can kind of do it and get quality marketing for low cost and effective solutions. So we wanted to really make sure that all companies, large, small, all brands, whether you're a startup or you've been in the industry for years or decades, mom and pop stores or whatever it might be, local shops, that you can get quality marketing and advertising without having to break the bank and literally take half your budget away from you guys. So that was something that I felt really personal about doing. I said, hey, when we do this, I want to make it affordable for everybody. Not just the top companies. So that was something on that side that really spoke to me.
Love it.
But from the ambassador side, within this industry, when I first got into it, I kind of moved my way up. I wanted to really take on every single position in the marketing industry. So I was a brand ambassador, a tour manager, a regional manager, marketing manager, field manager, you name it, I probably did it. But what I always realized while doing those things was there were some glaring flaws that I noticed about these staffing agencies right off the bat. One of them was the main one. Obviously, I'm sure however many reps are on here right now can attest. Those 90-day payouts, those 60-day payouts when you were just getting started in this industry, those were brutal for a lot of people. So I wanted to get in and change that. I know a lot of companies obviously, you know, don't do that anymore now, but there still are a few that do. But more importantly as well too, I noticed the lack of communication. From staffing agency to brand rep. Some of these companies tend to ghost BAs on cost and pay and stuff like that, or try and, you know, be a little bit shisty. And that's why I'll be really honest with you again, like that's why we love what you're doing over here at Trusted Herd, because you're bringing transparency to the industry and holding people accountable for their actions in these agencies, as well as brand ambassadors for their actions. But mainly it was those things that we saw within agencies that I was like, hey, I don't understand why that agency just didn't send an email back to that brand rep, letting them know, like, hey, unfortunately, blah, blah, blah. Because I feel like when you're kind of ghosted in certain scenarios and you're put in a situation where you feel like you're being ignored, I feel like that's when the bells and whistles go off and people start to get anxious and upset and frustrated with some of these companies. In this industry.
No, I think you probably just I'm seeing hearts and likes fly up on the screen right now of like people. I'm sure they're at home saying, yes, preach, Jordan, preach. Everybody, if you're just joining us now or you're catching on midstream, we're here with Jordan Clendenin, the founder of Guerrilla Roots Marketing. Thank you for joining us on your Friday afternoon. Real quick, if you hit that like button and that heart button and share it to a group or your own page, you're entered for $50. We'll come back Monday morning and announce that winner. Additionally, there will be a question that Jordan queues up somewhere in this interview. I don't even know. He's running his own show right now. And, if you answer that in the comments section, that one is worth $100, courtesy of Guerrilla Roots and Jordan. So let's get into the name a little bit here, Jordan. Guerrilla Roots, where did it come from?
It's pretty simple, actually. So a lot of people think it's something crazy. Honestly, it's a combination of two marketing styles that we value: grassroots marketing and guerrilla marketing. It was actually funny. I read an article way back when, before I started the company, from an author who eloquently kind of put it and put it into perspective for me and said, kind of distinguish the two styles of marketing. And he said kind of relating it towards to building a house and like real estate. He said grassroots marketing would be the style of house that you're choosing to build or the type of campaign that you're choosing to run.
Yeah.
And guerrilla marketing would be the tools or the supplies needed or the style of marketing to run that campaign or to build that house. And I just love that analogy, and it kind of stuck with me. And I said, you know what, we value, and that's what we want our company to be, a small grassroots company that implements guerrilla style marketing within it. So I just took the two words, blended them together, and
here
I'll pop the guerrilla roots marketing.
Here we are today talking about it.
Yeah, exactly.
How about the logo? Was the logo immediate, or did the logo come along later?
Yeah, so the logo was something that's kind of personal to me. So I am part Japanese. My grandmother was Japanese, full Japanese. It's an Enzo. So actually in the Japanese culture, Enzo means basically circle. It's something that is really popular within the arts in Zen Buddhism. Basically, it's saying that it's a moment in time where the mind is free to let the body create. So what it kind of meant to us was, as we related to our business, was basically we wanted to simplify everything for our brand ambassadors and for our clients and brands alike, to allow them to not have to think about all the other things that kind of go into it, and just simplify that aspect of it for them, and then just allow them to create, or allow the brand reps to kind of go out there and then just do your job, be personable, sell, engage, be friendly, or again, as it pertains to a client, just do your job on the other side with your marketing campaigns, creating all that, and we'll go out and handle everything else. We want to be your Enzo, so to speak, and then just allow you to kind of go out there and do your job.
Yeah, that's deep. I like that.
Yeah.
Really good. All right. So we got a company, we got a mission, we got a logo. Do you remember your first client and that program?
Yes. It was a local. So, it was local to Virginia Beach. The company is actually based out of Asheville, North Carolina. It was a small hummus company. Amazing. If you're a hummus fan, go out there. I'm telling you right now, go buy this hummus. It is called Roots Hummus. They're based out of Asheville, North Carolina. And it was a company that took a leap of faith in us in the beginning when we had nothing, no leg to stand on, no other clients to speak of. And they kind of stood in congruence with what we kind of valued at the time and what we value now to this day. Believe it or not, we don't target natural health and food brands and CPG brands like that, but it is a big part of who we are. I've always been a big health advocate in my entire life. So they were a company that fair trade certified, where they're certified B Corp companies and stuff like that. But those are the kind of brands that we like to work with. But Roots Hummus was just small batch, true to heart. If you know anything about Asheville, North Carolina, it's an amazing place. Amazing place to visit, the culture, the art, everything like that. So they hopped on board. They took a chance on us. I'll never forget the phone call, getting off that call with one of their directors and booking a meeting with the CEO shortly after, and thinking like, oh, this is really happening. This is I might actually land this company. And it was something that we did a in-store demo campaign for them throughout all of Virginia. And it was a success, and we loved it. We enjoyed it. We learned a lot from it. And like I mentioned earlier, we just tried to take little bits and pieces early on, mistakes we might have made early on when we're a new brand and company, and make sure we learn from that to never make sure it flows over into any of our other brands or clients. That
feeling, Jordan, of when you found out that you got the hummus client, was that a phone call or through an email?
It was a phone call.
Phone call. I mean, I can only imagine like the feeling on your side, like mute. Oh my God, we got it!
Oh my God, I went crazy. I remember I hung up the phone, and once we got the go ahead from them, and they said, "Okay, let's send over the contract. Let's finalize everything like that." I remember I hung up the phone. I was actually we were outside. I was at the park with my daughters and my wife, and hung up the phone with her, and I ran over to her. I said, "I think we just got it." I said, "They're asking for the contract and everything like that." I said, let's go. I was excited. I was pumped, and it's like a newborn baby. It really is. It's getting that first client out the way. It kind of, in a weird way, it kind of validates everything, all the hard work and everything like that you've put into it, and then you've done, and it feels good. It's an amazing feeling.
It is an amazing feeling. this wasn't on the original question list, but this got asked a couple of episodes ago, and I think it's a really good question.
Yeah.
You have client number one, and granted, we didn't talk like, was it a connection or cold meeting, but client number two, client number three, client number four, like, where were you going to find new business? Was it in your own network, or were you hunting some other way?
Hunting.
Yeah,
I was on the prowl. I was after we landed that first one and got them situated. I was eager to land as many more clients as I possibly could.
Yeah.
So we immediately were on the offensive, looking for brands and clients that might be looking for anything marketing related. If you're creative and you know where to look, you can easily find brands alike that are searching desperately for whether it's market managers or whether brand reps or whatever they might be looking for. Reach out to them.
Yeah.
Let them know, like, hey, you're a startup company, offer your rate, whatever it might be, and stuff like that, and kind of go from there. But that's what we really started to do, is just target certain companies. We wanted, again, like within that health food kind of aspect of it. I know health food. The whole reason I even reached out actually to Roots Hummus in the beginning, oddly enough, was years prior while I was still with the other agency.
Yeah.
I went into Publix and I tried the hummus. I purchased it, and I loved it. Absolutely loved it. So when we were thinking about the brands that we wanted to initially reach out to, I said, listen, I'm like, I love that hummus company. I'm like, I'm just going to shoot them an email, see what they're about, see if they're looking for anything that they might need, event marketing or advertising or in-store demos or something like that. And never in a million years really thinking I would get the response back, but I did, and the rest was history.
I started, I don't know, Marketing Works maybe 2006 in office, but previously to that, before our time, they were trying to grow, and they started, we were talking a little bit about like starting a company in a garage, and that's where they actually started their company, their agency, and they got to a point where they wanted to grow, and they told everyone who works there needed to do a project called their dream client, right? And each person at the agency put together like a campaign for that client. And then the sales team actually went out and pitched it, right, to each one of these. That's super cool. Each one of these brands. So it kind of reminds me a little bit of your story where you can, if you have that personal connection with the brand and then you reach out to them, that's really powerful hearing it on that other side. Exactly. And that's something that I try and share with the brand ambassadors or people who ask me as well too, like about the business. I let them know, like, hey, find something you're passionate about. And it's easy to talk about at that point. If you know you love it and you know how to talk about it. I knew everything I already needed to know all about that company because I loved their hummus and I studied them previously. So I knew the flavors. I was on that call. I was like, oh my goodness, your roasted red pepper, your mango sriracha. And I was dropping everything I possibly could. And they could tell that passion. And I think that's why they took a chance on us. Yeah, they probably hit the mute button and they're like, department, we ever had anyone named Jordan work here? Right. That's great. So you did share 3 pictures, 3 programs that I'd love to put them up on the screen and hear a little bit more about them. So let's start with this one right here. What is going on here? So this was our first international client that we work with, Naughty Hair Care. They are a fantastic, like 99.9, I think 98% all natural vegan hair care line. Make all natural products and brands, and it was just something that again we like to target those kind of companies where there's vegan, all natural. We don't believe in all the chemicals and stuff like that. We wanted to really stick with companies that try and do the right thing and help the community or help people in general by not polluting and pumping their body with chemicals and all that other stuff. So that was a company that we had reached out to as well too. Again, it was an international brand. So like we mentioned with Roots Hummus, like getting that international company to agree to do it with us as well was something that we were really excited about. And I really put that picture up there, and I wanted to show you that because when I tell clients and when I tell brand ambassadors, that's the type of look we were going for. When you're talking about like paying attention to detail, when that's somebody right there that she was her Eve.
that's something that shows you she really takes pride in what she does. So,
Yeah.
so to say, like she sets that up perfectly. Great photo, great background. Make sure everything, all labels facing forward, everything like that. It was an amazing looking photo, and we just wanted to kind of showcase that all our brand ambassadors to look like, hey, listen, like this type of stuff that you should be putting out there, or when a company's asking you for brand photos.
Yeah, for sure. That's great. And you said international brand. Did you do other events for this campaign outside of the U.S.?
No, not outside of the U.S. It was just an international company. We were looking to do that. There's still the options of possibly that happening, but right now that was just inside the U.S.
Okay.
That we were looking to do those for.
Cool. All right. So let's drop this one off the screen. Let's minimize us because nobody wants to see a giant Brian on their screen. Jordan, let's talk about what's going on in this campaign right here. What do we got?
Yeah, so that was Adidas. That was last year at the Something in the Water Festival. Adidas had reached out to us, or we had been tasked with, representing Adidas at the Something in the Water Festival, the very first Something in the Water Festival last year.
Yeah.
It was a huge thing for us. We were very happy to do that. Over 55 brand ambassadors that we had staffed them with. And it was something that it was an amazing. They did a Adidas Creator Park where they had they built a basketball court on the beach,
Nice.
cool park with a chalk wall. Like you could write stuff on there, positive messages, what those words meant to you on the board over there. And it was just an awesome background, awesome picture. And it kind of shows you the diversity too that we like to kind of implement out there in the field with our field team as well too. And it was a great looking photo. So we really were excited about that, and it meant a lot to us. Did
I hear you say 55 brand ambassadors?
Yes.
Big program.
Yeah, it was. It was one of our biggest to date, and it was special towards us. That again, when you reach out and you get the word that you're going to be representing Adidas and that they're taking a chance on you to staff them again to the very first Something in the Water Festival. Yeah. We knew we had to rock it, and we knew it was something that we were really passionate about, and we were going to do a great job at it.
Yeah, I assume were you there? Did you?
Of course, yeah.
Did you have a favorite act that you got to kind of peek at while the event was going on?
No, not at all. mainly because I was a nervous wreck being on site. I wanted to make sure everything went perfect.
Yeah.
I am a perfectionist at heart, so and so is my wife. So we wanted to make sure everything was smooth sailing there. So my focus was our brand team, our ambassadors, making sure they had everything they needed, making sure the client was happy the entire time, and everything go off without a hitch. So that was my focus.
That's the right answer. That was kind of a trick question.
All right.
All right, let's see here. We got one more, and I really like the color in this picture. What's going on in this program?
Yeah, this was an event for one of our clients who is a huge deal for us. So this is Brew Kombucha, amazing kombucha company based out of Oregon. Yeah, Portland, Oregon. They are phenomenal. Great product, great brand, great company, great people to work with as well too. But basically, I just wanted to showcase to again the two brand ambassadors alone out there. Like, hey, like you can capture amazing photos. This brand rep took this photo at this event in New York City. Yeah. Obviously, you got the Brew Doctor branded food truck in the background. But it was just a great photo that she captured of two customers kind of passing by, sampling, holding the bottle up, got that branding, got the branding in the background, smiling faces, beautiful photo, framed very nicely. So it was just something that we wanted to showcase and say like, hey, listen, again, when the client or somebody's asking you or the agency's asking you, hey, grab some good photos out there in the field. Yeah. This is the kind of stuff that they're looking for.
And I dig those bikes in the background.
Right? We got a couple cool shots of those as well, too. But, the food truck itself was amazing. That wrap job and everything like that, customized. And it was a really cool campaign that we were on.
Yeah, it reminds me of we were at an event by the Space Needle in Seattle. And our client's setup was right next to a kombucha company. I don't think it was this one, but they had kombucha on tap, right? And they were selling it right there. And we had an unlimited supply of tap kombucha. Great weekend. Just
yeah. Oh, all you can drink, right? That's the way to do it.
All you can drink kombucha. Cool. All right. So if you're just joining us right now, we're here with Jordan Clendenin, founder of Guerilla Roots Marketing. Listen, if you just hit that that heart and the like button and share that this video to your own page or a group page that you really like, that could be worth $50 to you. We're going to announce that winner on Monday. Secondly, Jordan's probably going to drop a question here pretty soon that people are going to have to answer. And that one is worth $100 that will also be announced Monday. So good stuff there. Jordan, team is important, right? What does team mean to Guerrilla Roots Marketing?
You said, what does team mean to Guerrilla Roots Marketing?
Yeah.
Everything. Obviously, what's the, keep your circle small. So we keep our circle very tight knit, intimate. It's my wife and I that mainly run the show here.
Yeah.
And outside of that, we have a little bit of outside assistance, but basically everything is passed through my wife and myself. And you can't ask for a better partner. Yeah. What I realized early on with working with different companies and different brands and agencies as well too, is that in getting people to invest in your vision is easier when it's a matter of like hierarchy, basically. So what I mean by that is the only person more invested in a company than the CEO would be the vice president. And then from the vice president on down, it kind of tapers off that way. So with a lot of these other agencies, I noticed, they're fantastic. And, I take nothing away from them. There's some awesome brands and agencies out there. But a lot of times once they kind of take on a new client, maybe, and that message kind of gets passed down through the ranks. Basically, you're taking that message and you're sending it all the way down to the account manager, who's not as invested as that top person as that's going to be the CEO or the vice president or whatever. So there's nobody out there that wants to see our clients succeed more than my wife and myself. Yeah. So we literally obsess over the team we put out there to represent and the type of representation that we have for them out there in the field. So it's my wife. Again, she was in this industry for quite some time as well, too, over a decade herself. Wow. She handles mostly all of the event staffing side of things. So she's in constant contact. She's the one sending out the emails to the team, the field team, getting the brand ambassadors, booking the interviews, everything like that. And I kind of handle all the client side, the occasional interviews myself. But we have, it's a great balance. She would love to be on the call right now. Unfortunately, though, when you're quarantined with 3 little ones, there's only room for one right now. So
I get it.
Unfortunately, she couldn't be here today.
This what you just said reminded me of hardware stores or carpentry, right? When it can be like so-and-so and sons, right?
Yes.
I'm just picturing this, like your 3 daughters, you guys are grooming them to be Guerrilla Roots and daughters.
Right. I'll be honest with you, man. That was always the vision too. I wanted something, even before I was thinking about having a family, I always said, I want something that I could, like a legacy I could leave, something to kind of pass down and something that, we could, an asset, a good asset that we could pass off to our kids. And if they choose to accept that and go from there and take over the company one day, fantastic. If they choose to do their own thing as well too, that's excellent as well too.
I really like that. It also reminds me of how I built this podcast on NPR, the story of Five Guys, and how it was one guy and his sons who started Five Guys, and he did it kind of as like this project for them, and they really attached on. And I think that's really cool when you can do stuff not only as a couple, but you start to expand more. So
exactly.
Jordan, looking back, maybe I don't know, in the last 10 years. Is there something Jordan today would tell that Jordan 10 years ago? That maybe would get you where you're at today faster?
Yeah, I would say get off your butt and just do it. Honestly, I would say, what are you doing going out for tonight? What are you doing kind of just, I guess more so being afraid.
Yeah.
It's a scary thing to kind of take that leap of faith. And to say, you know what, I think I'm going to start my own business. People think, are afraid of failure naturally. Yeah. When it's your name behind the company, it's even worse, that you literally don't want to fail because it's everybody. The only finger that gets pointed towards is you. So I would say, for me personally, I would say, just take a chance. Don't be afraid. Do it. If I could have started this younger, I definitely would have. it's a great thing, and it was life changing for me. I can't see myself doing anything else right now.
Yeah, that's amazing. Got a couple more questions here. Anybody, if you're watching, feel free to drop a question if you got one in there for Jordan or Guerrilla Roots. Happy to get them out of here on some of these audience questions. Let's see here. What do you look for in workers that want to work for Guerrilla Roots?
Yeah, so obviously you have the usual. You got to be reliable, dependable, all that good stuff. We value experience, but it's not the only thing we look for. Obviously, whether you're new to the industry or never have worked an event before in your life, or you are an experienced vet of 10 plus years, we're definitely looking for the two main things I would say we're looking for are personality and passion.
Yeah.
So personality, and what I mean by that is you basically have to be able to talk with anybody. You have to be able to get out there and adapt to any kind of situation, talk with people, have a good personality. Can't be a stick in the mud. Can't be, you got to be able to talk back and kind of engage and be witty and on your feet. But as well too as passion, we want people, and we try and obviously pair our clients with those people that are going to be extra passionate. Yeah. I don't want the person who is never really experience a healthy lifestyle or anything like that, representing a health food brand that they might not know anything about. So I want the person that, hey, listen, I live that lifestyle. If you're going to if we have a vegan client, we look for that vegan person that can really speak on that. Because again, when you're out there in the field, nobody is going to be more passionate than you if it's something that you already educated yourself on. And it's kind of funny because that's one of my I do a lot of the interviews as well too. So that's one of my main interview questions that I ask people initially when I'm thinking about hiring them. I say, hey, listen, think about anything at all that you're passionate about in your life. Yeah. It doesn't matter if it's a brand that you've already represented or it's something in your personal life, but I want you to explain to me why you love it and what it means to you. And basically all I'm doing during that conversation while they answer that is just I'm kind of listening to them and how they kind of project their passion onto me. And if you can make me feel what you're passionate about, that I'm getting chills at the end of the conversation. I'm like, oh, wow. Like this person really loves dogs. Like it's something that I really look for in brand ambassadors because we want that kind of passion for our clients out there in the field. And I want you to be able to talk like that out there as well too.
What you said is just so true. For any brand, product, or service, when you're repping that shirt and you're out in a grocery store demo, or you're doing an in-bar liquor demo, or you're out at a big event. I remember I have a good friend that's high up at the NHRA, and he hit me up and he said, Brian, why don't you come down to Gainesville for the Gator Nationals race? And I had done NASCAR races and IndyCar races and was really familiar. I knew nothing about NHRA. And it was like, Jordan, the first 5 minutes in the branded shirt, right? I got somebody to come up to me, and it was like I was watching Speed Channel or Fox Sports 1, and this person was an analyst, and he's asking me, do you know this person? You know this person? Yeah. I remember his kid, and his kid was so and I'm thinking to myself, you just got to listen. You have to play it off like you're enjoying the conversation, and because they're passionate, and that's why they're there. And I think anyone who not only can live that lifestyle but adapt, is really well suited, especially in brand work. Definitely.
No, that ability to adapt is very underrated in our industry, and that's something that we also definitely value with those field reps out there.
For sure. All right. I think this is the last question I have for you, and then I think I saw 2 audience questions, 3, which was yes or no, so 2.5. You talked a little bit about it before for yourself when we were like, hey, Jordan, what do you tell 10 years ago? You're like, just do it. Go for it. What do you have a piece of advice for someone that's thinking about starting a business, let's say right now? What would you tell them?
Yeah. Again, similar to how I started off with myself, just do it. Quit overthinking it. But more importantly, again, I would say probably just find something that you're really passionate about. Yeah. And something that you absolutely love doing, and then just figure out a way to monetize it. Yeah. Because honestly, I'll tell you what, like if it's something that you're not passionate about and you're doing it, or you're in it for the money, or you're just saying, hey, listen, I'm just going to go out there and make a quick buck out of this and blah, blah, blah. I'll tell you very quickly that when you start to fail and the going gets tough, that you will jump ship very fast. Yeah. But if it's something that you're really passionate about doing and you have a strong belief in, again, we set out to change or add value to this staffing industry in this event world.
Yeah.
Similar to yourself. So we wanted to be different. We wanted to have brand reps out there that know our company and love it and know that, hey, listen, if we say we're going to pay you in a week, we're going to pay you in a week. If we, if you work hard for us, we're going to touch on you for, we'll be loyal to you to the very end.
Yeah.
So just find something that you're really passionate about doing and just move forward with it one step at a time, but have that clear-cut vision on what you want to do and how you want to implement things. And again, just figure out a way to add value to everything that you do. If you're talking about a client, with what we're doing with the agency side, how are you going to bring value to those clients and brands? How are you going to bring value to a customer's life? Anything that you're doing, just figure out a way to bring value to it.
I like it. One of the things that after starting a business afterwards, I heard somebody describe entrepreneurs that really like the idea of owning their own business and have this idea as wantrepreneurs. Have you heard that phrase before?
Yes.
So, for anyone who hasn't heard that phrase before, it's like an wantrepreneur, they have the same idea, same vision as an entrepreneur, and you start the idea, but when you start getting to that first hurdle and that second hurdle and third one, all of a sudden you drop off. Like the idea of being an entrepreneur.
No, and that's honestly it. And it's one of those situations where, like I said, you can come out of the gate and everything can be fantastic. You can make tons of money out, that first month or that second month. But then what's going to happen when you hit month 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, where you're not making anything?
Yeah.
Or where you can't pick up another client quickly, or where you're, no customers are reaching out to you. Then that's when you really kind of separate the people who are truly passionate about what they're doing and or that vision that they have, and the people who just want to be an entrepreneur just for that title.
For sure. All right. So I'm gonna ask somebody wanted to know, Jordan, are you vegan?
I am.
You are?
So so I would I am actually I'll be honest with you. So I guess I'm not full-blown vegan. I'm like 99.9% vegan. No milk, no dairy, no eggs, nothing like that. Growing up Asian, part Asian, sushi was big in my household. Yeah. Obviously, so it's one of those things where on occasion I'll go out and have sushi. Again, that's like once a year, twice a year tops, something like that. But unfortunately, so I can't say I'm full, but my lifestyle with everything else, like 99.9%.
Nice. All right. Second question we have here. I'm going to try to ask this in a certain way. New brand ambassadors who are brand new to the game, right? I've only worked 1 or 2 in my life. Versus maybe brand ambassadors who have been around 6, 7 years and know the drill. What's your belief on should brand ambassadors who have been in the game longer and understand it more, should they maybe earn a couple dollars more per hour versus someone who's just getting into it? I mean, what's your take on that?
It's a good question. I'll be honest, I feel like longevity and experience in this industry has nothing to do with it. And I'll be point blank with you. I feel like when it can work both ways. So obviously you have the new person, the new rep who's out there, who's wet behind the ears when it comes to this industry, who's might be hungry, might be really passionate about things, loves it. Oh my goodness, I'm getting paid for this. Awesome. I want to do every event. I want to talk to every single person. And they just loves what they're doing. And then you might have the person who's been a vet in this, who's been doing this for 10 plus years, who might be a little bit worn out on it. Yeah. So why would I pay that person just based off their resume, X amount of dollars, and then lowball the new rep who might be working twice as hard as the 10-year vet out there in the field? So for us, it's just based on performance and value that each individual reps bring. So we take it on like an individual basis, honestly. Okay. If you're great at what you do and you bring value to us and our brands, we love it. If not, we're not just looking at experience.
For sure. And yesterday, I think Lucy from JBC Reach brought up, we hired someone who we didn't even know, and she was a greeter or a directional signage person, like a trade show or big event. And out of all the BAs that they had there and workers, she was the one, this girl who got the best feedback from like clients across the board. Like, this person out there is doing an amazing job with like the simplest job. And Lucy's whole mindset was, when you go out there, that's your moment to shine. And if you do shine, it will lead to bigger opportunities with, team leads or market managers. And that's building that relationship right out of the gate.
Exactly. Yeah. And that was something that we always feel strong about. And we tell people, we're like, hey, listen, we're fairly new in this. We've been in this for about 2 years. And I'll be honest with you, it's one of those things where obviously we're not getting all of the big events. We're not getting those the plethora of major festivals and stuff like that. Yeah. But again, like you mentioned, like, hey, you work a couple demos for us. You do a couple of street team events or something small here or there, and we hear that you rock it, or we like your feedback. We like the feedback that you got that we received from the client. Yeah. Then you're loyal to you, and we kind of move forward with you based off of that. But also as well too, again, it's something I mentioned before. Like so for brand ambassadors, I feel like the most important thing to decipher, because I'll be honest with you, there's in this industry, you know this very well. Yeah. For every great brand ambassador who's been in this for a while, there's 100 more amazing brand ambassadors as well too. So for us, it's basically like, how do you separate yourself in a sea of awesome talent? And for us, we always said to tell people, hey, like you said, it's your time to shine when you're out there. So take that seriously. Photos. Again, like we brought up on the board, if you take an amazing photo, those clients and those agencies are going to see that. And then, hey, guess who I'm going to want to book next time I have an event in your area. There might be 20 awesome brand ambassadors, but I'm going to call on the one who took rock star photos last time in the field that the client loved, that we could put on our social media accounts, and the client as well too. Yeah. And it kind of sets yourself apart from different things, as well as performance based.
I was thinking as you were just saying that about the dynamic of a new person, either in the industry or at a particular agency working for their first time, and having to prove themselves, right, in an event or events. That dynamic is the same dynamic for an agency and a brand, right?
Yes.
I mean, it's that trust. It's hey, we're the hummus brand, Guerrilla Roots. Here you go, and it builds up that trust to lead to more opportunity across the board.
No, without a doubt, and that's what. I kind of carry that over from the field work that I used to do. I remember, I was a brand ambassador. I was a field marketing manager. I was everything. So it kind of took that mindset, that small mentality mindset, and brought it into the agency lifestyle. And basically, we attack every single client like it's our first client, like we have something to prove. Because I feel like a lot of these clients, sometimes, even though they are taking a chance on us, they might not have 100% the faith in us that they would with a larger agency. So we need to really give them 110% to prove to them, like, hey, listen, we're the little guy, but we work twice as harder. Where the client or the other brands typically end at 9 to 5, we work 7 a.m. to midnight and past sometimes to get the clients and the staffing done for you guys and make sure everything's perfect for when it's time to launch. Yeah,
couldn't agree more. All right. Typically, when I started doing Trusted Heard Live, I really wanted to do it because I was kind of tired about talking about COVID-19 and seeing it everywhere that I went. And I was like, I'd love to do something over the span of, 30 to 60 minutes that talks about why we love doing events, right? I think that's so important. But I'm an audience pleaser, and somebody did ask the question, so I'm going to ask you the question. Let's see, where did it go here? Jordan, how has Corona affected you, your company, and do you have any plans or thoughts of what that will mean for you in the future, or how you're going to position Guerrilla Roots?
Yeah. So with our company, it's obviously tough. It's tough on us. It's tough on a lot of agencies out there right now. We always kind of had contingency plans in place for different scenarios like this. So we're kind of prepared on the back end. But we feel for our brand, for our field team. We were doing a couple of campaigns where we were giving people steady work and getting them some good quality experience out there in the field. So it's tough that we can't continue to provide that for them. Yeah. We are doing our due diligence, though, on our end to kind of check back with all these companies and brands and grocery locations and stuff like that to see, like, hey, is there an opportunity here or there? Are there any additional work that can be done? Yeah. So we're trying to really get out there and provide any resource possible for our field team to really capitalize on during this time. Again, we'll be okay. We'll bounce back. Obviously, it's tough when Especially we had a lot of momentum rolling. So it's tough when you have that momentum going and then this kind of puts a halt to it. But I'll be honest with you, this has been a blessing. It allows us to kind of sit back as a family, connect with each other, remember what matters, what's important. The business stuff will sort itself out, but just enjoying one another's company. I get to spend a lot more time now with my daughters, playing, having fun, just getting creative at home.
Yeah, for sure. Let's see here. Do I have a question for you, Jordan, or do you have a question for yourself?
So I'll put that question out there right now. So for the $100 prize giveaway, for the $100 prize giveaway is what we said. I wanted to ask a question based off of an answer that I gave from one of your questions during this interview. So more I thought about it, I wanted to make it something pretty creative. So I will say this: I listed about 4 to 5 positions that I used to work, things that I've done in my past, previous to getting into the event industry. If you can name 3 of those positions that I've held or worked or industries that I've been in, that enters you in the running for the $100 prize. And again, I understand there'll be a couple of people who might answer the same question, stuff like that. And then like we mentioned earlier, we'll choose the winner based off of those people who answered correctly. But name 3 of I think it was 4 or 5 answers that I gave on things that I've used to do.
I can already think of the 3 or 4. I mean,
if you're paying attention, you can do it if you're paying attention. So
for sure. Good stuff. Jordan, this has been a lot of fun. I've really enjoyed hearing your entrepreneurial story and up to launching Guerrilla Roots and your last 2 years doing it. Is there anything that you'd like to leave the wonderful people before they go out and spend their Friday evening in home?
Yeah. In the bedroom or in the living room or down the hall. Yeah. No, just again, like we talked about earlier, this is a fantastic industry. Just know, guys, that this will bounce back. I know this has been crippling right now for everybody, agency, brands, brand ambassadors alike. However, it's one of those things where this will bounce back. You just got to stay motivated, stay positive. But again, allow this time to kind of fine tune your skill set. Like we mentioned earlier, if you're thinking about starting a business, do it, pull the trigger on it, get going with it. No better time than now. But again, also tweak that resume and kind of tweak a couple things maybe about your, I guess your personality with how you conduct yourself during interviews, events, stuff like that. Just look within to see if you can make any changes to kind of help you book more gigs in the future or get your name out there a little bit more.
2 things I just remembered before we get you out of here.
Yep.
1, everybody give Jordan some hearts and likes because Guerrilla Roots was one of the first companies this past week to go in and endorse workers on Trusted Herd, which I think is so cool and worth all the hearts and all the likes and any of the other emotion things that Facebook give you. So thank you, Jordan. That was amazing. And I know workers very much appreciated that. Second, I really like what I've heard. I'm ready to go ahead and pull the trigger, and I want to come work for Guerrilla Roots Marketing. Where would I go if I'm a worker that's resonated to what you said and I want to get in your database or apply?
Yeah, so it's pretty simple. Again, we post a lot as the jobs and opportunities come up. We'll post our talent portal on the different groups, the Facebook groups and stuff like that. But you can always go to thinkguerrilla.com. It's on our website. It's on our Facebook page and stuff like that. Go to the website. You can apply through the website as well too. Check out the website. Message us on Facebook. Our emails are listed on there, so shoot me an email. My phone number is listed on there. Shoot me a text message. Very communicative. I will get back to you promptly. But again, as these things come up, we would love to do that and kind of get you guys as many quality brand ambassadors out there. Get in our database, man, because we would love to use you. And this thing is going to take off once it does, once COVID kind of goes away. But also, I did want to mention with what you're doing, Brian, it's a fantastic thing for the brand ambassadors as well, too. But remember, for all the brand reps out there, you guys really move this needle for this industry. Never forget that. You guys have the power to influence what brands represent, what agencies. If you have a great agency out there, there was always that mindset back in the day, that old adage that you've always heard. If you do something good, Typically that person tells one person. If you do something bad, they tell 100. Let's flip that around. For these awesome agencies that are out there, if you know and love them, figure out a way to shout them out consistently, guys. Get those brands out there, get those agencies out there, because that's the only way we can kind of push out those bad staffing agencies and push in all those good ones that really genuinely care about you guys, which is the most important part about this industry.
Jordan, you're really good. I mean, I don't know next week's schedule, and it's like, should Jordan be taking my seat? Should I be in full-time production? Honestly, thank you so much for spending your Friday. Everyone, if you just made it to the end, we've been talking with Jordan Clendenin of Guerrilla Roots Marketing. Like, heart, and share, because that's what will get you entered for the $50 that we'll announce Monday. Find that question that Jordan just asked a couple minutes ago. So if you fast forwarded to the end, you need to rewind it a little bit.
Yeah.
For that question. But the whole interview is rock solid, and you'll find those answers in there. And if you answer 3 of the things Jordan's looking for, that's good for the 100. So this has been an amazing week of Trusted Herd Live. Next week will be action-packed. We got Go Experiential down, I believe, from Louisiana. We got Christy with KPG Staffing, Steve with ProMotion, Martin with Staffed Inc., and then Brenda on Friday with B9. So action-packed week. Next week, all 3:30 p.m. start time Central. This week was a little bit mixed up. But, hey, everybody, especially you, Jordan, enjoy your evening. Enjoy your weekend. Thank you for all that you do and coming on the show. It's been an honest pleasure having you.
It was a pleasure being here, and thank you guys for tuning in. Honestly, it means a lot. Stay safe out there. Get creative. Get weird. Just be positive during this time, and have fun. Enjoy your family and friends, and just live life, man, until this thing blows over.
Live life. Jordan just took us out. All right, everybody. Have a great Friday and weekend. We'll see you Monday.